Hey there, chat. Sorry for waiting around. Everything kind of broke at the last second. Uh, Not only Twitter, but also Discord, and my reactive Kuri PNG is kind of missing. So let me give me just like 2-3 minutes to try to fix this. Well, my voice was already revealed last time, so this isn't anything new, at least for those guys that were here before. But once again, give me just a few minutes to try to fix this. If I'm not able to fix this, we'll just go without the PNG jumping up and down. Not much of a loss, but it kind of adds something, and I'd hate to miss it. But so just give me a sec. Okay, looks like it won't kind of undo itself. But I have a little intro video for today's topic, so let me play it first. I think it's kind of fitting. Maybe the PNG will fix itself after some time, maybe it won't, but you know, it is what it is. We kind of have to deal with it. So let's have our little intro video here.
The artist and art are two separate topics and two separate bins. So, to answer your fucking question, if you get angry that I'm gonna actually play Hogwarts Legacy because I bought it, you're actually retired. That's my end of topic. I enjoy the art, I love Harry Potter, and I'll continue to play it. Okay. Art is different than the artist. That's something. Many needs to understand. So please do not send hatred to me or anyone else from Face Connect playing, because what's your point? What you gonna change? She already has a bunch of money, so like, you're not changing much. Than just getting a few pity points for your way of bullying others for enjoying Harry Potter. So
yeah, that was Temba Miami from Face Connect. She makes a lot of these kinds of speeches about fiction in general and just enjoying yourself online. And she doesn't deal with bullies. She doesn't negotiate with bullies. She tells the bullies to fuck off. And she did, even just today when her chat turned into battleground between the anti-Hogwarts Legacy people and the people that want to make you miserable because you want to play it. So, and speaking of being miserable, today we have a VTuber that was made very miserable because of the actions of few people. But those actions resonated loud enough for that particular VTuber, which of course is Amano Pikamee, that she quit her stream. And since that time, I think she hasn't tweeted anything new. She was really looking forward to coming back to streaming because she's been like missing for like a week or two, something like that. I know her last activity was back in sometime in January, I believe. So this was supposed to be a big comeback. As also I'm aware she is a big Harry Potter fan, so what happened to her was not only a surprise to all of her fans, but also to Pikami herself. And it's a pretty tragic story because Pikami, for those of you that don't know, she's a half Japanese, half American VTuber. She's very old school at this point. She outdates many VTubers out there nowadays, and she's really well known. She's a VOMS VTuber, and she's that kind of person that's not really involved in any of that culture war stuff. I don't think she's even aware of any of it. All the information about the current quote unquote internet stuff she gets from her fans that kind of clue her in on what's going on. So what happened to her was a complete surprise and a complete travesty in my mind, because it's kind of like, picking on a child. I know Pikami is an adult woman, but she I don't want to say she's soft, but Pikami is very sensitive. That's probably the best way to put it. Pikami reacts emotionally to a lot of things, and she's a very kind individual, if you are familiar with her content in any sort of way. So, of course, seeing this kind of backlash and basically trying to gaslight her into not streaming Hogwarts Legacy affected her mood in a really bad way. So much so that she cancelled the stream and felt like she needed to apologize to people. And needed to explain herself as well, which is, why would one need to explain themselves for wanting to play video games in the first place? Like, I saw one person online today saying that what happened to Pikami wasn't actually, bullying or harassment of any sort. It was accountability. That's what that person called it. Accountability. Like, you need to be held accountable because you played a game that's loosely connected to a person that says things that you don't agree with. And therefore, you're a demon. You have to take accountability. You have to prostrate yourself, genuflect in front of people, and make sure that you beg for forgiveness. Otherwise, you're just gonna have a really, really bad time. But yeah, I have prepared some material that we're gonna be exploring today, which basically shows the extension of what happened to her. Because a lot of people on Twitter right now, even though it's broken, but beforehand they really did do that, they really want to downplay what happened to Pikami, and I'm not all about that, because as much as some of them try to paint this as like spreading awareness, it's more like trying to guilt trip you into doing something that they want you to do. Not something that you personally want to do, but something they want you to do, and that is not stream Hogwarts Legacy. I covered part of it on one of the last streams. Like, there was a whole harassment arc of this, where another VTuber got harassed by the usual people. And you can watch that stream for further details. I don't really want to go back to it because it's reiterating the same stuff. And we have a whole new slew of content to go through anyway. So without further ado, this is the tweet in which is now deleted, by the way, since Pikami he probably didn't really want any further negative attention from people. Just after she got all that backlash and she cancelled her stream, she says this: "I am just a kettle who wants to play the games. Playing this game doesn't mean I'm just supporting something specific. I just want to play the game, that's all. I hope everyone will have a wonderful day." Of course, everyone didn't want to have a wonderful day, and they kind of prove it. As you can see, the tweet is now deleted, and these are some of the responses to her. As you can see, it's something. Let people watch whatever they want and stop crying. Just exercising my freedom of speech. Bear emoji. Fair enough. Freedom of speech to point a meme gun at a person that just wanted to play a video game. The usual, people being disappointed in her quote-unquote fans that seemingly are disappointed in her because she decided to just play a video game. That I know these kind of seem mild, but they get a lot worse. These I kind of segregated them based on intensity of exceptional behavior. So we're starting off from pretty mild stuff, and we're gonna get to the heavier stuff as we go along. When it's directly and indirectly giving money to a transphobe, I'm afraid it's supporting something specific. I know you don't mean any harm, but please reconsider playing the bad wizard game. So, these are the tactics a lot of these people use, like making you feel guilty for something you don't really intend or something you don't really actually think. With the guise of it hurting a lot of people, they will try to shame you. They will try to question your station in life just because you wanted to play a video game. And it really gets wild. I'm not sure if you saw this, but before Twitter went down, I had this one thread about this one unhinged VTuber that just basically wished death upon people that play this game, and said that anyone that gets death threats because of this deserves it. So that's pretty much the furthest extreme one can take on this issue. I'm glad Pikami didn't get any death threats, as far as I know. But the biggest thing that's missing from these screenshots and all of this situation is that I didn't manage to check her YouTube chat, because that's where most of the harassment actually happened. But there is evidence that Pikami actually had to close the chat at a certain point, and after that she made the cancellation announcement because it was just getting out of hand. Pika, please understand that support for this kind of game is supporting someone who wants to use the continued relevance of the series to hurt vulnerable people. Please reconsider. Again, more guilt tripping, trying to make Pika somehow responsible for everything that's happening with it. Pikami, I hope you see your fans in the replies here yelling and threatening my friend in vile ways, and realize it's better to skip this one. I get that you don't want to be seen as political, but there's no avoiding it. Love you, love what you do. I hope you reconsider. And you'll see the threatening and vile message this Kyrie person is getting in a moment. And they're really not what this person is describing here. It's messages like this. These kinds of changes just need to be made on the source production business decisions, not the end line customers. No, you don't get to guilt trip a kettle because you don't want to give a stance, you just want to play something fun. It seems Pikami gave the position of not supporting the stance in question here, but if the game is fun for Pikami to play, we can watch it. We can watch her enjoy it and just, you know, not buy it ourselves. The fears some companies have about streamers and let's players, LMAO. Please consider that the door is that way, and be careful it doesn't hit you on the way out. Just let Pika enjoy the game, and if you don't like it, don't watch it. What does it mean, Kyle? Don't come back if you're not interested in respecting Pikami. And, you know, these are the vile comments that this person was describing. Just the worst of it is just telling this person to just go the fuck away. Which is, you know, overblowing all issues on all fronts. Vile comments. Yeah. This is pretty much the most extreme one. Memeing on him. Bro, you should not assume the Japanese are having the same mindset which you guys is so cringe. The world doesn't revolve around you and your ilk. Stop trying to bully Pika into capitulating to your ideology-driven hate campaign for the crime of playing a video game. I agree with you, but man, this having 18-year products is killing me. That's the VTuber community for you. I mean, did you expect these people not to get defensive because of Pika? Pika is a lot of people's darling. Like, she's held to the standard of being someone that's super innocent. Like, I don't want to say childlike, but she does give off these kinds of vibes. So it's kind of understandable why people really want to protect her and everything that's associated with her. This one hurts, gotta be honest. When Harry game releases and I have to block Amano Pikamee. There's another person, you know... Were they really her fans to begin with, if they block her just because of ideology, which Pikami doesn't even, you know, she's not even aware of it. She just wanted to stream a game, have some fun, relive some of her childhood, but yeah, that's verboten. That's not allowed. Whoa, playing a game is politics now. Wow. Nope. Those are your views and your group views. Not everyone feels this way, and the cells of this game echo that. Shut up, literally. You shut your fucking mouth and let people play the fucking game they paid for. Man, go away. The girl just wants to play something she likes, and you fuckers can separate your political agenda from literally anything. They don't have castrated exceptional people in Japan. You fell for the old John Money castration cult scam, which is you know, an anti unhinged comment, which is pretty aggressive, but you know, it is what it is. This whole discussion just gets more and more vile as it goes. Buying the game means you are supporting it. This is a person I actually remember coming to one of my threads and trying to concern troll about the game, saying that Pika actually, you know, realized her mistake and that playing the game would actually hurt people, so that's why she decided to cancel the stream, and not because she was basically bullied into canceling it. So yeah, concern trolling, not a fan of it. There's pretty obvious trolling, and concern trolling like this just leaves a pretty bad taste in my mouth. You bought it. You're literally supporting Rowling's positions. Like, from your checkout to her account, the far-right politicians she'll donate to. Like, do as you like, but as with everything, acknowledge the consequence. I didn't just swing my arm if it breaks a guy's nose. Not a very apt analogy, if I do say so myself. It implies that she kind of committed some grand violence against someone, which, you know, it's a ridiculous comment to make to someone that just wanted to stream a video game. Me playing my wizard game, happily living out the OC fantasies I had while reading the books. Trans person whose rights get stripped by the women whose stated royalties like what you've given, like you give her to go into hurting them. I guess I'll die. Again, very hyperbolic statements and just completely untrue, and trying to attach something to Pikami that's just completely false. So now JK has the power to strip trans people of their identity. She can do that all by herself. She has done and has said she donates to and supports politicians with literally that goal. Damn, she must be a wizard too. Again, what I have learned about J.K. Rowling and her stance is, yeah, they are transphobic. There's like no hiding it. You know, beyond the biological essence of the discussion of you know, transgender people and that sort of thing. Due to the history of harassment that J.K. Rowling has experienced because of activists, she herself has become more spiteful over the years, and she basically started doing some of the things that the people accuse her of. Being mean to people is mostly what she does. The donating that stuff is I'm kind of iffy about, because most of that is overblown. She does have a donations page, and most of her donations to certain groups are all public. So you would have to go and look those up if all of those check out. But from what I've gathered, a lot of these groups are more about legislation stuff and less, you know, about hurting people. But hurting people itself can take a lot of forms. So whichever of these things you describe as hurting people is kind of on you. But again, a lot of activists just eat it all up wholesale. And the demonization of her stances is just active and live until this day. You've gone so far left. You've not only lost the definition of words, but gone back to excluding and witch hunting. Right-wingers literally want me dead. Me, can you not support that? You, wow. Why the witch hunt? I'll bite. Show one instance beyond her saying people who menstruate are just women, or her view on sex diminishing women's struggles. Show one instance of her saying royalties find right-wing extremist groups. Then we can continue, as you'll have a leg. Are you joking or stupid? Hundreds of tweets stated supports for people who want trans people oppressed. A fucking book all about the fear of mongering men in women's bathroom talking point. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, this thing about men's in women's bathroom, that is true. She has stated that several times. At least I have seen it. So that is something. As far as transphobic comments go, I can attest to. I also don't agree with the last comment on cult and grooming. And I appreciate you not saying things and instantly blocking to avoid a different voice. When you buy this game, money goes to someone who thinks I shouldn't have rights and has been a powerful advocate in favor of my oppression. When you stream this game, other people see it and spend money on it and feel like they need to play or risk missing out. Again, more guilt tripping of someone that's completely unaware of the situation and just progressively making her feel bad about it. When transgender people simply ask, don't buy or stream this one specific game, and so many people can't do this one easy thing, it sends a message that these people aren't really our allies. And all of this comes back to treating transgender people like a monolith, that transgender people apparently don't have different opinions on this. I personally, in my friend circle, in my friend group, I have transgender people that have expressed her views about J.K. Rowling, and of course they don't agree with her, but they still love the world that she has crafted. It resonates with some of their childhood memories, and they do separate the author from her work. So they really don't like it when people speak for them, because it's kind of insulting if everyone has to walk in lockstep with activists instead of having their own opinion. And going against that opinion as a transgender person makes you a pariah on its own. So there's no winning. So if you're afraid of these people going after you, it's probably best not to speak up. But if you don't speak up, they will just continue endlessly, and then pretty much nothing gets solved. You can mind your own business, sure, but eventually, if you get on their radar, they will come for you. And then what are you gonna do? Are you gonna endure it? Are you gonna sit there quietly and let them bully you? Or are you gonna stand up for yourself? Again, that's all on you. That's kind of my stance on the issue, that if you're being treated unjustly, you should probably fight for yourself, and instead of being someone's punching bag. But that's just me. Kettle, maybe you put on the disclaimer at the start of the stream so that at least you have put on defense for yourself. People are always gonna have something to say, so put disclaimers before, during, and maybe at the end of the game. See, this is kind of a naive stance, because this person doesn't seem to realize how Twitter activists work, and any kind of political issue activist on social media. The moment you show weakness, the moment you prostrate yourself, they will just want more out of you. They will want more compliance, more of your flesh, more of your blood. I know that sounds kind of dramatic and hyperbolic on my part, but that's the truth. Like, apologizing, saying what you think is never enough, because they always want more out of you. So doing a thing like this person is suggesting is just putting a target over yourself. You really shouldn't even try to do anything like that. A disclaimer for what? It's just a game. Yeah, it's just a game, but others got offended. That's why I suggested Kettle to put a disclaimer or warning, so at least she has put on precautionary measures for herself. There's no need to put disclaimer for playing good game. People, if you still can call them people, are really sensitive today, and that's not good. I wish I can make you completely understand that people can get offended to even the smallest of things. As I said, as a disclaimer or a warning will act as Kettle's defense against people's tongues. If you really want, it's just a bullseye on your back, and you're just waiting to get shot by someone. Again, more sad dog faces. The game's title is the disclaimer. If you don't want to support it, don't click on it. How people can just skim over a text but then go into the content and still say horrible things? Yeah, I just wanted Kettle to have a disclaimer or warning, so that when people go after her, at least she has already put on an initial shield. These people don't care for any shields, don't really care for any explanations. They care for compliance. They care for you doing what they want you to do. Nothing else beyond that point. this in itself is a really ridiculous notion that you need to, put a disclaimer on just playing a video game. Incredibly ridiculous notion. You're free to play the game if you want, but claiming you aren't supporting something when buying the game, financially supporting the IP owner, is factually wrong. Plus, you could just play it in your personal time and not implicitly endorse it by streaming it. Again, Pikami is a streamer. That's what she does. That's her job. VTUBERS is a company. She's employed by them, and streaming is a job. So that guy is basically telling Pikami not to do her job, and getting a wrathful backlash for it. Shut the fuck up, my guy. You have electronics that use cobalt. You implicitly endorse slavery by buying those things. Again, coming back to the term, the current term, which is ethical consumption under capitalism. You're probably gonna see that more in the coming days because that's the hot button issue. There's a difference between things that are required for participation in current society and recreational items. All I did was correct an incorrect statement and give her an opinion. I invite you to calm down. Using electronics might have been wrong, true, but you're still on Twitter. It absolutely is not a requirement to participate in current society, and everyone knows what the type of guy who owns Twitter is. That's a fair comparison. You're giving me something to think about. Yeah, your brain kind of broke at this point because you're using the platform of a person that has diamond mines, and diamond mines have a history of a lot of slave labor. I don't want to go into that because I don't want to spout historical inaccuracies. I just heard that's a thing that did happen and probably does happen. Sounds very plausible to me. So yeah, there's if you're gonna use certain products and if you want to keep yourself to your own principles, you'll probably have to check everything to make sure it wasn't produced in an unethical fashion. No slave labor was used. No slave labor was used in order to make it. No animals were harmed in order to make it. No rainforests were cut down in order to make it. No ozone layer was destroyed in order to make that product. But considering how much energy we let out and CO2 we let out into the atmosphere, everything that we do kind of destroys the ozone layer. So even being alive is unethical in that sense. I know, again, another hyperbolic statement, but these people don't use better arguments, so it's probably it's probably apt to say something equally as ridiculous. I truly hope you reconsider playing it on stream, Pika. While I understand you enjoy the series, the money it makes is directly supporting some very nasty stuff in the world. And your streams will provide free advertising so you can make more money and reach more people. And again, as I said before, all of this grandstanding, all of this trying to shame people into not playing it, has resulted in Hogwarts Legacy being the most streamed game on Twitch of all time. And as some people aptly also pointed it out, this is only for the deluxe version, which gives people early access to the game. So a bigger wave of Hogwarts Legacy fans is coming on the 10th of February and after the 10th, when people buy the standard edition of the game. So as you can tell, the game already made waves, even with the very expensive deluxe version. So overall, this campaign to boycott the game was highly ineffective and extremely counterproductive to what they wanted to reach. Sadly, by buying the game and promoting it, you're helping people to literally kill trans people. See, this is how unhinged it gets. essentially blaming Pikami for the deaths of people. The only ethical way to play it is through piracy and not talking about it. And people in my comments, several people want to say that what Pikami experienced here isn't harassment. Like, what is this if not harassment? This guilt tripping, this constant gaslighting. For me, it's a form of harassment, and it's pretty disgusting. Have a wonderful day, everyone, Dayo. Choosing to be apolitical is a political choice. If you know you're advertising for a game that funds anti-LGBT organizations, it's a political choice. There are no naive in this world, even more so if you can read and write. Yeah, because, you know, everyone needs to be aware of every single politically charged issue out there. Otherwise, you're culpable. Otherwise, you're a bad person. You're political. Everything you do is political. The air you breathe is political, and there's no escaping it. This is an actual terminally online stance that I really extremely don't agree with. And this person didn't have a nice day, Dayo. And this is the only actual proof I have what happened in Pikamee's YouTube chat. She turned it to subscriber mode because it was getting out of hand, and basically what prompted her into quitting streaming for the day at that time. Oh, you can't harass her on stream anymore. That's a shame. This person is actually, you know, he's not picking on Pikami, just in case there's a misunderstanding. He's trying to defend her, being very sarcastic about it. Disappointing Pika. Canceling a stream your viewers wanted to make people that don't even watch you happy. This is really sad. See, this is another side of the issue that I don't agree with. That Pika has to, you know, stand her ground, which I would, but again, I'm not Pikami. Pikami made her choice, and I don't blame her for it. Pikami has her own sensitivity and sensibility levels. So she did what she thought was right, and shaming her for her decision isn't the right way either, since you're pretty much almost equally as bad as the people shaming her for wanting to play the game in the first place. The comment section is awful. Reading all of these comments feels like not a single person here cares about her opinion at all. She didn't say why she cancelled. Why do you force your political agenda on her? What if she agrees with your boycott? Gross, guys. Did you not see the deleted tweet? She just wanted to play the game and people like you made her cry. No, I didn't, but I looked it up. What does it have to do with people making up her motivations for cancelling the stream? Like you know, her motivation of literally just wanting to play the game, not hurt people. Like the dude outright told you what it was. So right now you're just being disingenuous, like you are doing right now. Does she really have to spell it out for you? Are you that incapable of understanding that the harassment that she received, that prompted her to make that tweet in the first place, most likely progressed to the point she couldn't deal with it anymore? Read the room. Please stop forcing a weird political agenda on her. You don't know why she cancelled her stream. There is no discussion there. She did not say why she cancelled it. She just said that she did. It's bad that people harassed her, but that doesn't make it okay for you to do it. I mean, concern trolling at its finest here. Ridiculous shit, man. Out of all the games to come back to streaming to, again, more shaming her for her game choices. This is her cancellation message. I am very sorry, guys. I will cancel today's stream. See you guys next stream, Dayo. Which, you know, she didn't announce when the next stream is going to be, which is concerning. Unsure to what level all of this affected her, but having watched her for quite a long time and knowing how sensitive she can be, I imagine it affected her quite a bit, considering the cancellation. This guy comes up in a lot of other VTuber drama YouTube channels, and it's kind of disappointing that other channels that did deal with this sort of stuff haven't covered this extensively, because it really shows you how much people went after Pikami, and saying that it wasn't harassment is ridiculous. Come the fuck on, why not just play something else? Really excited for the way of mealy mouthed woe is me apologies that the game will inspire in VTubers who know what engaging with it represents and yet will go right ahead playing it anyway. I truly do not think any streamer is better off, but if you have a heart, a brain, and a backbone, you should try to be. This is the one disgusting thing that really ground my gears to a stop. In case you didn't know, Pikami is a hardcore lolicon. She even talked about it with EO15 from Hololive ID in this thread. Like, this person is trying to paint her as a pedophile for basically being a lolicon. I keep saying Pikami trending for playing Hogwarts Legacy or whatever, and I feel like it needs to be spread that she's an open and blatant pedophile. This is not someone who should have a big audience, and the fact that this hasn't been acknowledged is disgusting. Again, this whole conversation here, this is about lolicon. This isn't anything. You know, it looks suspicious to a person that doesn't know who Pikami is. It looks suspicious to a person that doesn't know who Iofi is. So I can't tell you any more than this, that this person is just, you know, switching the narrative here. Or rather, maybe this person doesn't even care about the narrative and would say the person is a pedophile anyway, even if she was aware that Pikami is a lolicon. So yeah, everything had to be put on Pikami that very second. I hope Pikami didn't see this, because this is after Pikami made her cancellation tweets. So I hope this is not something that Pikami also had to experience on top of everything. Yeah, it is weird, but if you don't know the context, it does look very suspicious. But this is lolicon talk, and Yofi would get strangled by management if it was something else. They're really going for the low-hanging fruit here. You went after someone so small to get a reaction. Couldn't go after, I don't know, XQC, Pecora, Mio, anyone else. Just needed to go after someone you can actually get a response out of. I went for the one I saw on my timeline because I followed them. I didn't really expect better of XQC or Hololive. It's one of my acquaintances did the I'm gonna buy the thing we're all boycotting, but don't think less of me. I'm just a little baby with no agency. I don't mean anything by it. I would call them spineless and mealy mouth too. In the end, they still have the game, you just ain't with them, and in the end, Pikami still has it, but ain't streaming, but millions of others are still streaming. It and millions more are watching you. You're literally just doing nothing. This one got reposted to those websites, huh? Let me do one post addressing you all. I'm glad you spent $70 on a video game that can't even pull praise on the 9/10 review. I mean, you know, considering how modern game journalism and journalism is in general, saying that a game is getting mediocre or even bad reviews kind of means nothing. In terms of game reviews, I'd sooner trust a YouTuber than a journalistic outlet that deals with video games. But you know, that's also just me. I don't care what you think your politics are. I'm looking forward to everyone who cries about it still being an ally or get bullied or whatever. LOL. Can you people shut the fuck up already? I mean, you're the one making outrageous statements about Pikami, so people pretty justly got on your case for this. If you don't want to get backlash online on social media, don't say anything. It's public to everyone. If you don't want backlash, private your account or something. Someone will find it and we'll talk about it. I did. Mask up transphobia in the replies because anime girls. And here's the kicker. We got to put Muna down, y'all. Because, you know, Muna also played Hogwarts Legacy and she needs to be put down for it. Good call. Fuck you. Why? Bullying someone is not okay, especially since that someone is nice and not a transphobe. Only bullying I've seen is people saying Pikami shouldn't be playing it. Upset, openly muting or blocking her, etc. On the other side, it's people more offended by an VTuber being hurt by that reaction, saying that they're going to buy 3 copies of the game in response. Pathetic. And saying good riddance to Pikami isn't equally as petty. I mean, again, buying 3 spite copies can be also construed as pretty petty, but you're no better. Not in my eyes. This is the same comment by the User Lizard friend person. Bad call. No, obviously a good call to make and not a hard one either. Shit's going down for Pikami, too far. Pikami is a VTuber with nothing to do with this culture war, but she was not only forced to stop playing a game, but then delete tweet defending herself. You all should be ashamed for dragging her down with your BS. Good, don't promote that garbage. Garbage take. Pikami is a Japanese wholesome kettle. People in Japan barely even know who J.K. Rowling is, let alone her behavior. Why don't they do their research then? Why should they? Like, how rotten must your brain be to have your first reaction to everything be, oh, I like this thing this person made, better look it up if they said bad things before I consume it. It's 20... I hate this phrase. It's current year. You have to do certain things in current year, otherwise you're not with the current year and certain specific political stances. It's 2023 and people out there don't even bother to use the damn internet for research. Really shakes my... I'd say this D stands for dumb, so I'll just say shakes my dumb head. Because she shouldn't have researched to see if she's going to be harassed off the internet for playing video games by a bunch of brain-rotted lunatics. I should mention that I have a cousin with who's both autistic and trans. Whoa, congratulations! That has nothing to do with subhumans like you harassing Pikami. Like pointing out that your family is anything is a pointless addition to this non-argument anyway. And again, it all comes down to, you know, checking every single product that you use in your life to see if it wasn't created in some unethical way. Reminds me of that. I think it was The Last Jedi. Yeah, it was The Last Jedi that has a thank you at the end title scroll towards a camp located in China where some of the movie footage was shot. And that camp, the camp authorities are infamous for allegedly terrorizing the Uyghur Muslim minority in China, and you know, so if you go watch that movie, you're basically supporting that. Ridiculous. Sad, but ridiculous at the same time. People really do be justifying harassing innocent outsiders like that. Seeing a crowd of mostly white people attacking a person of color for something she wouldn't know kinda seems a bit racist. And before you claim I'm some white guy, I'm Asian, again, being whatever skin color, race, it's not even apply here, it's just, all of it's just very stupid. This is more of a, like, a, you know, a common decency, common sense issue, but common sense is kind of uncommon on the internet. The common sense one would use offline doesn't really apply to a lot of online discourse. You don't understand. It's her own fault for not not both not knowing everything ever, especially another country's political BS, and trying to have fun playing a AAA game. Honestly, it's okay just to play to have fun. The problem is I have though is those supporting shitty people that have no remorse on others like whatsoever. Then why do you feel the need to justify the harassment you and others are throwing at her? I'm not harassing anyone. Again, these people don't understand that all of this gaslighting, all of this guilt tripping is just another form of harassment. You don't need to call anyone a slur or anything like that in order for it to be harassment. More screen caps of Pikami breaking down over harassment she received from Hogwarts Legacy and J.K. Rowling haters. Oh yeah, we just want to protect people from harm. The people we target are fascists. Maybe they should not have been so hateful. Pretty excuses. If you buy this game, you're a bad person. Yeah, this whole Discord, the discourse that the activists make distilled into one sentence. If you buy the game, you're a bad person. Content warning: Harry Potter. Some goddamn thoughts. It's the Twitter company I keep, but I cannot for the love of God fathom how someone doesn't know playing shit with 23 is a bad fucking thing to do. Rolling funds and says vile shit. You are supporting doing vile shit when you play. More content warning, Harry Potter. Again, I know it's the company I keep, but I cannot fathom how people have missed the message. People have been screaming from the rooftop since before announcement not to interact with the game. Content warning, Harry Potter. So when I see that Pikami and other streamers are getting bullied for promoting that shit wizard, part of me is like, good. People have known for years not to support J.K. Rowling. If they knew about that and still promoted the game, they deserve consequences. That's brain rotted. Like, I could have something interesting to say about it, but it's just really brain rotted. Expecting other people to, especially foreigners that have very little awareness of this culture war bullshit that's mainly in the English-speaking sphere. Sure, Pikami is an English speaker, but if you're aware of any of her content, you'd know that she's more in line with what's going back at home in Japan more than anything else. Yeah, their name, the Big Stupid, is very fitting, as someone pointed out in the chat. It is a very fitting name indeed. More content warning, Harry Potter. As an aside, I believe that we should also denounce the review websites that cover shit Wizard 23. The fact that review websites need money does not mean that they have to promote hurtful content. Otherwise, they should start putting up ads for Ration. More content warning, Harry Potter. But on the other hand, the inevitable shitstorm that surrounds bullying these perceived beans is going to stir up anti-minority activist backlash. Does that matter? I don't think it matters all that much in the end. The people who are offended that someone got bullied are the same people who have gotten upset if someone was asked nicely. No. What this person describes here as asking nicely is, again, gaslighting and trying to guilt trip someone. It's not asking nicely. If you wanted to ask someone nicely, you'd probably do it in private, not on a fucking public Twitter platform. At best, they don't care about the issues at hand, and more commonly, at the worst, they hate those minority groups and support the game for it. Yeah. Uh, if you don't like this discourse, if you like the Harry Potter game, no matter what your stances are, you probably hate minorities, because that's the regular take. People like this, huh? Buying Hogwarts Legacy doesn't make me a transfer, but I'm not going to spend a fraction of energy I spent defending my favorite streamer for playing an actual playing on actually helping trans people. Imagine if people up in arms defending Hassan, Pikami, Asmogon, and girlfriend reviews did the same when trans streamers got hate traded. Imagine if a single one you actually fucking cared enough. Again, two issues, separate issues with similar, similar tactics used by people, both hateful. But this is what a lot of people like to call whataboutism. So basically deflecting it to another issue to justify someone getting treated the same way. So you're bad either way. I say put your money where your mouth is to all the I can buy the game and still be an ally, but you've already spent it on the game. And there are plenty of trans people talking about why they think people shouldn't be playing the game, who are getting harassed by TERFs and Nazis, but you are too busy defending your favorite cis streamer from these trans people to care. You're not an ally, actually. I hate this whole term of allyhood. It's so cultish. Instead of supporting singular people, you have to support a cause, and that cause, just like a lot of these people think, is a monolith. Everyone should probably be able to follow the same kind of mindset on certain issues, and if they step out of line, they're all of these things this person is describing. A streamer with a massive platform should, in fact, pay attention to the discussion around things they might stream and consider those factors. That's literally their job. Pikami made a choice, ignorant or otherwise, and saw the effects of that choice. Japanese and other non-US streamers should always be aware of the angry ramblings of terminally online dweebs with too much time on their hands. Pretty awful Anglo-centric take. It's very, very Anglo-centric, very English sphere of influence, imperialistic, I might add. Japanese people aren't children locked away from the rest of the world. LGBT people exist everywhere. Pikami is also an English streamer. It's actually part of her appeal, so it's actually on her to have some basic awareness. You're infantilizing her and her whole nationality. And you're trying, and you are like better by saying that she should be aware of issues that no normal person online, just a person that's casually just wants to play this game, that's a Harry Potter fan. Do you expect all of them to be aware of something? And trying to justify it with the fact that Pikami is a big streamer is another non-argument. Pikami has her own interests, her own ways of doing things, and her checking every single thing that's going on online with certain games she wants to play. It's just pointless busy work that no one should be doing just before playing a fucking video game. No, you're just justifying harassing Pikami for not being as terminally online as you. Do you really think Japanese LGBT people are constantly angry tweeting about J.K. Rowling? If you think that the million people watching the game on Twitch right now have heard of and that's what it ends actually. That discussion cuts off abruptly. I can't imagine letting creators' words ruin the creators' work for me. The content of it is bad too. You play as the ultimate slave owner and you have to stop a slave revolution. The game also has no spells, despite being about wizards. It has spells, man. You can see it in the gameplay. It does have spells. And here's another argument I'm kind of baffled about, but again, this is an argument made by people online that they like to make these kinds of arguments, is a game has certain dark topics like slavery, killing people, genocide, and apparently just having them, you know, like being a slave owner or something like this person is mentioning here, is kind of, you know, bad because it's in a fictional setting. Like that should be critiqued. That makes the game bad. That it has dark themes. I mean, how many games are there that, you know, have you killing people? Sometimes just, you know, mindlessly for fun, like in multiplayer games where, you know, the point is just getting a score, and you're still killing people by doing that. So, in essence, that is a dark theme. It's not a narrative-driven theme for sure. I'm not making that comparison, but you know, it's still a dark theme. You're still doing something that you wouldn't normally do in real life. So making these arguments is very silly. You have Yuri in your bio. You know what's you know that's a harmful word, right? Use GLBL instead. 2023 and is still using Yuri. Coming from someone in a Jewish family, none of us care if you play the game. If you associate the fictional race goblins to Jews, you are the racist one. See, I don't partially know if this person is just, you know, being extremely sarcastic here, or if they actually mean that Yuri shit is an offensive word, but kind of hard to read sarcasm on some people's posts sometimes. So in my mind, I'm gonna give this person just a bit more credit and think that they're being extremely sarcastic about it. Controversy about Hogwarts Legacy, you're probably going to be mistaken. Most people watching and buying the game are going to do so just because of their nostalgia of the books. If you told them there was a controversy, they would think it's the Catholics again. That's so right. Plenty of people playing and watching it are fully aware of the controversy and simply do not care. That's fully their choice. It's just someone's choice to judge them for it. I never said harassment was justified. If some people went too far, they should be rightly called out. I mean, you're already going too far by implying that Pikami should be aware of things that, you know, aren't really her job. Her job is to stream games, and whatever people get offended by a pretty innocent game is not on Pikami. It's on the offended people. However, the mere existence of pushback to her saying she was going to play is not harassment. It is harassment. I kind of demonstrated it. I wish I could show it to this person, but then again, I don't think they would admit it actually is one. She's an online personality. She has a platform. Her job is doing things and people reacting to it. Her job is streaming. She's free to play it, and people are free to voice their issues with that. Yeah, but it's her game choice, and you know, Pikami has an agency. You're really trying to take away her agency by making her do things that you want other people to do. She was literally receiving death threats, but sure. I mean, yeah, those meme images could count as death threats. I haven't seen the YouTube chat, so I haven't seen any others, but I know how people can be, so I am a bit on the fence about if there were real death threats going on, but people are so stupid on Twitter, there might have been some. The fact you blocked me for saying that tells me everything I need to know. You're a shit human being. Stop trying to justify harassment. Seek help. And here's more downplaying of all of this, of all the harassment other people, not only Pikami, have been getting. Pretty much all harassment people are saying Pikami is getting for playing the turf game is literally just screenshots of people saying they're disappointed LMAO. Yeah, again, gaslighting, guilt-tripping people, for me, a form of harassment. It's mental manipulation, trying to make someone feel bad. And as one of my favorite detractors, Sister Rose, would say, it's abuser tactics. Because it is abuse. It's trying to make someone feel bad for their choices. Is expressing any negative sentiment whatsoever harassment now? And here's this person dunking on another very high-profile influencer, Miauri. She's a cosplayer and a model. And no shade to people who want to boycott the game. I respect your viewpoint. I really do. But what I told you, but what if I told you people can like Harry Potter, but also not agree with or support J.K. Rowling's views? Like, do we really need to be sending death threats over this shit? If you told me that, you would be wrong. So you can see where this person's stances are on this nonsense. Equally as nonsensical. This guy, yeah, this guy got on people's radar. This is the the worst case of, just being extremely petty. I tweeted this before I even knew about what happened to Pikami, but now after having learned about the situation, I would just like to say, LOL, LMAO. Or you're getting bullied for playing dumb wizard game, getting abused by your chat, gonna cry? Damn, know a fraction of what trans folks feel, the ones your money is supporting the abuse of? That's just a really scummy way of thinking. And especially gloating about someone getting harassed for it. Someone completely fucking innocent and unaware of any of the controversy that this game is bathed in. And yeah, this one demonstrates that they're so brave that they locked their replies. They did get a lot of quote retweets, and they still doubled down because they're such a nice person online. The people who harassed her in cancelling the stream, I legit despise you all. You don't really care about trans rights. You all just bullies using trans rights as a weapon, and thus only gave bigots more of a reason to hate trans people. Pikami doesn't deserve this. You get what you pay for. And that's everything. So I demonstrated the extent of it. I wish other YouTubers were more diligent about showing all of this. And even I didn't find all of this. I just picked up the best examples of everything that could be used as evidence for gaslighting and guilt tripping people, and just being generally incredibly petty towards Pikami and controlling at the same time. So just because Pikami wasn't called mean words, and by some she was called mean words, not in a very active sense, but in a very passive aggressive sense. So it is harassment in my mind, and I hope you see it too. I'm not trying to change your mind about it really, but that's the way I see it. And I really wished I decided to do this stream because I don't think anyone covered this in a sufficient fashion, because there was a lot more to it, and saying that Pikami wasn't harassed in any fashion, that there was very little backlash to what happened to her, is just painfully wrong. Painfully and awfully wrong. And since we're pretty much done with this portion, and this is pretty much the only portion I prepared, I'm gonna take a small drink break because my throat is starting to kind of kill me. I'm slowly getting used to talking so much. Haven't talked this much in many years to so many people, so I have to get sufficient amount of experience to last a bit longer. So let me get a drink. I'll put you up towards the scene. You can watch it while get my drink. You get yourself a drink. Then I'll come back and we can have a discussion if you're willing to. I will be catching up to the chat, see what you guys have been saying, because I missed a lot as I was reading. Can't divide my attention well enough in order to cater to some of the answers, some of the questions that have been put up there, and some of your statements, and I'm really interested in what you guys have to say. But yeah, I'll be right back. And I'm back as well. And just catching up to the chat, see what you guys were talking about. Base Tenma, yes indeed. Singapore girl. No, Tenma is Japanese. But if you want to troll Tenma, tell her she's Canadian. No, in fact, don't do this. She gets very angry when she's called Canadian. Oh yeah, she's Japanese. I think she is located in Japan currently, and she is indeed very based. I love the fact that Tenma is confrontational with anyone who would ruin her fun within reason. Yeah, she does have this motherly type of feel to her, like a very stern motherly character that will scold you if you do something wrong. She's innocent in this and generally a cinnamon roll. Yes, yes, she is. Despite, you know, being a hardcore lolicon, which makes her a lot less innocent, but she's indeed a very sweet girl, if you're familiar with her content. And I encourage you to check it out, because she really can be very entertaining, especially when she mouths at video games. Playing Lego Harry Potter would make me transphobic to Twitter. Yeah, it would. I wonder why Lego Harry Potter... There is a Lego Harry Potter, right? Like, there's Lego properties connected with a lot of IPs, right? So, I guess there is Lego Harry Potter, but if there is one, I imagine it came out a while ago, when all of these people were still in diapers, I guess. I don't know. If anyone could clue me in when Lego Harry Potter came out, then I'd be grateful for that. I had to mute a lot of people. I mute people that are obvious trolls on Twitter. Otherwise, I don't block anyone, because how can I make fun of people if I just block them? If someone just annoys me, I just mute them, and there's not many instances that someone annoys me to the point where they do. Very obvious trolls that are there just to troll, I usually mute those. These people are nuclear levels of goofy. Indeed they are, and the most baffling thing about them is that they take themselves very seriously, and they take issues of a video game with wizards very seriously too. And on that note, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the Harry Potter game, Hogwarts Legacy, actually does have a trans person in it, a bartender. I think she's just an NPC, but there is indeed a trans character, I think first one for the series, in that game. But of course, I didn't save the screenshots where the activists, let's call them that forever from now on. I haven't saved the screenshots where the activists are basically also bashing that character just because that character has the name of Sirlona, I think, and they're very offended by the fact that there's a Sir in the name, even though that name is derived from some kind of goddess. Yeah, they're very upset by the fact that the character has Sir in the name. They think it's a mockery. They think it's a transphobic joke. It really fucking isn't. So yeah, that's how ridiculous their arguments get. And the best part of it is that they're also going after the Asian character called Cho Chang, because apparently that naming schematic is incorrect for Chinese named people. Apparently both Cho and Chang are last names, so putting them together as one name, Cho Chang, makes no sense, but you know, if that's indeed a mistake, I think it's an honest mistake to make. I don't think, you know, it's any kind of racism or even intended to be any kind of mockery. And let's not forget the slew of jokes they make about the black character. I think the black character is also named something that they had issues with. I forgot what the name was, but they also had issues with that. Basically, whatever avenues of attack they could use on the game, they used it, and they spared no expense in making sure that you feel bad for every aspect of you playing that game. Pikami deserved none of this, leveraging disappointment and pretending to care about her streams or her audience. These people are vile for going that low to hit her in her weak points. I imagine a lot of them don't even watch Pikami. They just found another streamer that was playing Hogwarts Legacy and just went with it. Because, you know, you have to tell everyone that they're a bad person for supporting the game. And if not outright tell them they're a bad person, they're at least supporting bad people by playing the game. Don't you love when the crazy people on Twitter have absolutely no source and yet they rally the battle cries? I mean, that's what people on social media do. Positive things attract lesser attention than drama. That's why drama has always been so big in every aspect of online spaces. Before proper social media, I'm saying that like the previous iteration of social media sites weren't proper, but when Twitter didn't exist, there were forums, of course, and drama was big in every kind of forum. Let's not forget places like Tumblr that were just a hive of these sorts of discussions, and I imagine a lot of people do come from the Tumblr space, and I wish some of them, if not all of them, would go back to Tumblr where they can have their own echo chambers where they can go after one another and make long call-out posts about how offended they are about meaningless perceived offenses. It's so intense because Harry Potter has been a beloved series. Never thought it'll end up this way. I grew up with Harry Potter too, but not in the sense that I was a fan of Harry Potter in a sense. I was just, you know, a kid when the series was getting big. I watched like 2 movies from the Harry Potter series. Once as a kid, the first one, and as an adult, the last one. And I thought they were okay, but nothing I would really be interested in. And when I heard that the movies are actually better than the books, then I just completely lost interest. Why, you know, go to a lesser medium if the superior medium apparently doesn't interest me anyway? So I just kind of gave up, lost interest. I only heard about Harry Potter via social media and via internet, especially about the whole Dumbledore kills Snape. Spoilers, sorry for anyone that hasn't read the Harry Potter books. I heard about that issue from online discourse, and that people were just wanting to fuck with others that wanted to enjoy the books. What's funnier, there's people going around Twitter right now repeating that sort of same thing for the Hogwarts Legacy game. They just outright go into people's threads and streams and spoil the ending and all the major plot points of the game to everyone, because, you know, your activism isn't good activism unless you're extremely petty. So that's what they do. It's crazy how this mid game is doing so well because people won't shut up about it. Yeah, it's the Streisand effect in it's the Streisand effect in effect, basically, in extreme fashion. We'll see how those Twitch numbers are gonna get boosted when the game is actually released in its standard form, especially on Twitch. I mean, especially on Steam. There's no ethical consumption under capitalism is a vile and overused talking point that people use to the point of absurdity. And aside, they want Pikami, whose entire focus on enemy is channeled into being an entertainer. It's unreasonable for her to be updated on every detail, political position constantly. Like, damn. Yeah, it is ridiculous. Pikami really doesn't need to be involved in any of this. No one has to, really. I mean, the best way to do that is just not to be on Twitter or any other social media place that has these sort of people there. But I guess you'll find one or two of them in every space. I mean, considering they're also on YouTube and on Twitch in people's chat, spoiling the game, so it's, you know, kind of unavoidable. The best one can do is just, you know, mute and ban these people when they show up, and if you have a very active chat, then they kind of get lost because, again, all of these people are a very loud minority. And they really don't represent anything but themselves. Whenever they say they represent a specific identity, never take them seriously, because that in itself is offensive. Like, talking for other people when you don't even know their stances is insulting in itself. Along with boycotting anything Universal and Warner does and has ever done. True enough. Especially Universal stuff and their filming in Africa. And you guys can go and look that up. There's lots of controversies there to explore. Everything is political. You can't enjoy things just for the sake of it. Yeah. I know you're being sarcastic, but yeah. This is pretty much my sentiment too. Man, the lolly debate needs some proper clarifications. It goes by different types. It does go. Even in LOL console, it's weird talking about you like 9 to 12-year-olds XD. Yeah, it's very weird, and if you have no idea that it's a lolicon Discord, I can see how suspicious it is, and I can easily see people painting Pikami as a pedophile just because of these tweets. Everything has to be an exam now. You got to go cram school for current modern politics before you can even play a game. That's too wild, and I hate the current year BS as well. True that, brother. Oh, it was the live-action Mulan movie, not The Last Jedi. Okay. That makes it kind of worse. Considering it's, you know, a movie about Chinese culture. But I remember something controversial with The Last Jedi too. But again, it being Mulan is even worse. Considering it's a movie about China. Harassing people over a video game isn't activism. Also true. When the abused becomes the abuser. Yeah, this is the kind of mentality I can ever get behind of, you know, something bad happening you in your life, and just because it happened to you, everyone else also needs to experience it in order to you know, make it just somehow to even out the odds. I think you're just as bad as the abuser then if you're willing to unleash your own abuse on other people that have absolutely nothing to do with you. And you're basically groomed into being being the same as your own abuser. Culture war rot is something that VTubers do their best to relieve people from. the idea that they should be informed is beyond unreasonable. Yeah, and I also believe that, you know, holding people to the same standard on everything is also unreasonable, because I imagine the same people that make those claims trying to hold others to the same standards probably don't even follow the same standards. So that hypocrisy is probably very easy to prove. Most sane Iris fan. Yeah. Yes, voice their issues is fine, but accusing someone of being something is not voicing your issues. For one, if you want to complain, go to the company, not the talent. Which in itself would be kind of bad. I mean, I don't think Gyari of VOMS would even entertain these people. First of all, they probably have to voice their complaints to them in Japanese, I imagine. I mean, sure, Pikami speaks English, but you know, it is what it is, and I'd rather not these people not mess with anyone, especially with their jobs, because it just gets to the point where their livelihood is affected, and I don't want these people to be messing with Pikame's livelihood like that. It's just not right. People saying the most that's been harassment is people pouring their support in a nice manner. Again, I don't think gaslighting people and guilt tripping them about a video game is doing anything in a nice manner. It's just disguising your own disgusting behavior as that. The only issue with Sirona is that it's a token character, I think, not 100% on it, since I haven't played the game to that point. I'm also not sure. It could be just an NPC that just, you know, happens to be trans, and in that sense, I guess they would be a token, but if they're their own established character, if they have something else to say other than, you know, just being an identity that was shoved into the game, then it's not a token. But I haven't played the game yet. I'll play it at one point. Someone wanted me to play it on stream. I'm still kind of on the fence about that, because when I play video games, I'm very focused on the video game, and playing video games is a very me time. So I'm not sure if there's a demand for that. I don't mind doing this. Otherwise, I don't want it to be like a self-indulgent moment, because I'm not doing these streams. I'm not doing these streams just for myself, but also to talk to other people. So I think sharing these views, even if they're opposite to mine, is an interesting thing to do. Even though most of what I've been getting is people that agree with me. I wouldn't mind debating someone that doesn't agree with me on those issues, but those people rarely show up. Especially to someone like me, that's, you know, the worst thing the VTuber community has ever seen. So again, if you find someone like that, do let me know. I'll maybe look for someone like that. I probably won't contact them, because that's usually not what I do. I'm there to showcase people, not necessarily engage with them as a first contact sort of measure. I was a kid when the first Harry Potter book dropped. The modern day complaining reminds me when I was a kid playing and people called it witchcraft and it's tainted by evil. We've looped around. Yeah, those witchcraft and tainted by evil discourses were motivated by mostly by Christians back then, which that was like the very late 90s, the early 2000s, when all of these religious groups decided to go after popular works of fiction. So things like Harry Potter become demonic and satanic. Pokemon became also satanic, but also, you know, comparing it to cockfights and animal abuse. That sort of weird arguments that more people online do more than at any point in time. And it's very weird because all of these groups were very fringe, and considering the internet was in its infancy at that time, at least as far as popular use goes, they weren't as notable as the activists are now. Since social media is everywhere, everyone can have a voice, and even if a voice is a minority, like a harasser, for example, they're still gonna have a large megaphone, and even if their following is small, some tweets, some messages on things like Facebook or any other place can always blow up, and then that person feels justified in their behavior. The Last Jedi's biggest controversy was murdering the audience expectations. Yep, I fully agree with that. I walked out of that movie extremely disappointed because the movie is the whole gimmick of the movie is just subvert your expectations in a very unsatisfying way. Like, the director of that movie basically wanted to do everything you wouldn't expect, but didn't bother to make those twists and turns interesting in any sort of way. So that's the biggest miss of that movie. And I haven't even seen the last of the new trilogy because I've heard it is so bad. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I grew up with Star Wars. I had all of the Legends. Well, they're now called Legends. All the original extended universe books. I read some of them several times, and the fact that they did away with them and now they're non-canonical is like the biggest fucking sin to me. There were some amazing, excellent stories in those books, like the Throne Saga. That thing in itself deserves its own movie, but will the new Star Wars bring up Throne again? I have no idea. They're doing their own thing. And the last thing I actually enjoyed out of Star Wars is Mandalorian season 1, and I haven't seen season 2 yet. And I don't even know if it's good, but Mandalorian season 1 is excellent. So if you're a Star Wars fan, go check that out. Highly endorse that one. It's made with love and with everything that has made Star Wars so notable and epic in scope. Even if it's a TV series. Just like the old satanic panic back in the 70s, 80s over D&D. Indeed it is. Panic over popular mediums existed like forever, as long as new medias came about. I mean, I think it even dates back to the invention of the radio. I think there were also controversies about the radio. Then it moved into popular music, rock and roll music, that it's destroying people's sensibilities, that people are gonna become degenerate sex freaks because of it, and it promotes violence and all of that neat stuff. Then it moved on towards violent television. From there on, it moved onto the internet. And here we are now, where just playing a video game makes you a bad person. So we aren't moving forward. We're moving backwards in terms of evolving as a society. We're devolving as a society at an alarming rate. So someone should probably turn off the internet and have everyone touch grass collectively. I wouldn't mind, because I already touch enough grass on my own. But yeah, we've been through a pretty nice discussion here. We looked through a lot of that constituted Pikamee's harassment. I'm I'm very miffed about the fact that my PNG isn't working. I really need to fix it towards the next stream, because I'll be autistically bothered by it. It's that one detail that's constantly on my mind, and it's just gonna keep bothering me unless I do something about it. But yeah, thanks for coming to the stream. I think we'll end it in like a minute or so. I'll play you guys with a nice song that will get me a copyright claim, but that doesn't really matter because I'm not monetized or aiming to be monetized anytime soon. But I enjoyed this discussion with you guys. I enjoyed the presentation. Hope you guys got something out of it, and you know, I hope you saw the bigger extent of what happened to Pikami, because a lot of people have really been downplaying what happened to them, to Pikami. So if you see anyone downplaying ever what happened to her, just point them to this stream and they'll get the bigger picture on the issue. Just as everyone that is a fan of Pikami actually should. But then again, if you're a bigger fan of Pikami than me, you probably already know this. And if you aren't, I hope you go and support your talent when she comes back. Give her lots of love, because what happened to her is completely unjustified. There's no justice in it. You just made an innocent woman question herself, considering, you know, that tweet where she said that she just wants to play a video game and she didn't mean anything bad by it. So once again, give her lots of love when she returns, and I hope to see you guys on the next stream, whenever that's going to be. I don't want to make these streams like impromptu or guerrilla streams. I want to have something prepared, always have some kind of topic to discuss, whether it's something new or something from the past, because there's a lot of stuff to cover. That's all in the past, stuff that only people that watch my account know, and stuff I think other people should also know. So the content for me to make is kind of, I wouldn't say limitless, but it's abundant. There's a lot of things to go through. So I really have to think if I want to do something that's about something more recent, or something that's more anchored in the past. Because the origin of the lolicon drama in the VTubing scene is one of the most interesting ones. This is pretty much what inspired my gimmick account in the first place. This is what a lot of you know as the Kyoto drama. You know, the lolly succubus that got all the harassment levied against her, and some individuals that contributed to it are still around today, and they act as if nothing happened. I don't think any of them have ever apologized to Kyoto. If they have, they probably did it in private. Good on them. But when you do something publicly like that to Kyoto, I think you owe also a public apology to her. But, you know, Kyoto at this point is so above that, so beyond that I don't think it really matters. It's more like a history lesson. And as a warning, you know, for people not to be so up their own ass about issues they have no understanding of. And, you know, just let people be and live their lives and have their VTuber careers the way they want to have them. But yeah, once again, thank you guys for coming. It was pretty fun. I didn't kill my voice this time around. Didn't kill my brain either, because the chaser stuff, that was just that was overkill. If I'm ever to do something like that again, I will have to take longer breaks than I did in that last stream. But anyway, I'll see you guys around on Twitter. I'd rather you get off Twitter because that place is bad for your brain. Stay good. Have a good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Stay hydrated because that's the only proper advice I can give any of you guys. And have a good day.